We all want to feel good. Sometimes people around us can make that hard. Their words and actions can feel negative and heavy. This is often what we mean by toxic. It's a strong word, but it helps us name something important, which we experience with some people in our daily lives. Toxic behavior refers to actions of others that consistently make us feel unwell, drained and exhausted. These behaviors can be big or small. They might be loud and angry, or they might be quiet and subtle. The main thing is how they affect us. They often leave us feeling sad or small or confused. They can chip away at our bright spirit. You are not to blame for someone else's toxic actions. Their choices are their own. We cannot control what other people do, but we can control how we respond. We are responsible for protecting our own hearts, for guarding our own peace. This is a brave and loving thing to do for ourselves. Toxic behavior can show up anywhere. It can come from family members, friends, or colleagues. The label of the relationship doesn't make the behavior okay. Recognizing this is the very first step.
Sometimes the way people affect us isn't obvious. It's not always a big fight or a cruel word. Some people can drain our precious energy very quietly. It happens slowly, almost without us noticing. Like a tiny hole in a bucket, our energy just seeps away. We might not understand why we feel so tired, or why our joy seems a little dimmer. These people might even seem kind on the surface. They might smile and say nice things, but being in their company feels heavy. It feels like hard work. After we spend time with them, we might feel exhausted. We might feel a little bit empty inside, or a quiet sadness might settle over us. We might not have a clear reason for these feelings, but they are important signals from our heart. Think about some examples. Perhaps it's the friend who only ever talks about their own problems, or the colleague who makes subtle comments that make you doubt your skills.
So how can we spot these behaviors more clearly? There are some common signs to look for. Constant negativity is a very big one. These individuals often see the worst in every situation. They might complain all the time. Good news is quickly met with doubt or a problem. Another clear sign is when someone always blames others. They seem unable to take responsibility for their own actions or mistakes. It's always someone else's fault, or life is always unfair to them. Manipulation is a very serious and hurtful trait. Manipulative people try to control others. They might use guilt to make you do what they want. They might twist your words or make you doubt your own memory. This is sometimes called gaslighting. They try to manage situations and people to their own advantage. A deep lack of empathy is also very telling. People with toxic traits often struggle with this.
Building your shield. Setting healthy boundaries. Once we recognize these patterns, what can we do? Protecting ourselves begins with setting healthy boundaries. Boundaries are not about building walls to shut everyone out. They are not about being mean or unkind. Boundaries are gentle, loving guidelines. They teach people how we want to be treated. They are about creating respect in our relationships, respect for ourselves, and respect for others too. Setting them is an act of profound courage and self-love. What do you truly need to feel safe and respected? What specific behaviors are not okay for you? It is perfectly okay to say no to requests that drain you. It is perfectly okay to limit the time you spend with certain people. You do not need to offer long explanations or excuses. A simple, clear, "I'm not able to do that" is often enough. Your needs are valid. Your well-being matters. Communicating your boundaries can feel daunting.
Gentle detachment. Nurturing your inner peace. Sometimes setting boundaries means we need to gently detach. Detachment doesn't mean we become cold or uncaring. It doesn't mean we cut people off in anger. Gentle detachment is about creating emotional space. It's about protecting our inner world. It means we don't allow someone else's negativity or chaos to become our own. We can still care about people. We can even love them. But we can do it from a safe emotional distance. How can we practice this gentle detachment politely? We can learn to steer conversations away from toxic topics. If someone starts complaining endlessly, we can gently change the subject. We can choose not to get pulled into arguments that go nowhere. We can be physically present with someone, but not absorb their difficult emotions. Daily self-care becomes incredibly important when we are navigating these waters. Self-care is how we refill our own cup. It's how we reconnect with ourselves.
Choosing kindness and peace. Staying true to yourself. As we learn to protect ourselves, there's one more important thing. We must be careful not to become toxic ourselves. Self-examination is the key to know about our own self. When we've been hurt by others, it can be tempting to vent our feelings with anger, and we tend to hang on with that negative energy and look for potential listeners to dump our emotional garbage. Tempting to lash out in anger is dumping emotional garbage. Tempting to become bitter or cynical, or to build hard walls around our hearts. But these reactions, while understandable, ultimately harm us more. They dim our own beautiful light. They take us further away from the peace we seek. We always have a choice. Choose respond over react. Responding is consciously cultivated habit. Reacting is unconscious and impulsive. We can choose a different path. We can choose to act from our deepest values. We can choose kindness, even when it is very hard. Kindness doesn't mean we let people treat us badly. It doesn't mean we ignore our boundaries. It means we strive to treat all people with basic human respect, even if we decide to limit our interactions with them. But that must emanate from love and understanding. We act from our own integrity, not from our wounds. This is true strength. Love is the best source of true strength.